Should I get life insurance now? I was looking into it, but I came across all of these words about term
Mhm.
200, permanent. What are they talking about? Welcome to another episode, TF Team, a podcast series. We are happy to be with you as always. And last Saturday, is it Saturday? Yeah, I think Saturday, June 28th, 2025, they celebrated Insurance
That's
Awareness
right.
Month,
Mhm.
you know? So, in that drive for
Mhm.
Insurance Awareness Month, they want people to speak with their advisors,
Mhm.
their insurance advisors,
Mhm.
man on my left,
Mhm.
about their insurance needs and
Mhm.
revisit their policy to ensure it is meeting your needs.
Mhm.
So, we thought it important that
Mhm.
we talk a little bit about life
Yeah.
insurance, which is a very um, very important thing
Mhm.
that you should have,
Mhm.
but often mis construed to be that, hey, I should get life insurance when I'm about 50 years old,
Mhm.
because I'm going
Why
to
are you looking
retire
at
in
me when you
15
say
years.
that?
You're not 50, you're pushing 70. What are
Okay.
you talking about? All right. You're not going to be qualified for life
Mhm.
insurance, right?
Mhm.
But let's talk about life insurance a little
Mhm.
bit now. So I am young, I am active, I am healthy individual.
Lies, lies, lies.
I have no dirty secrets. And therefore,
Uh,
should I get life insurance now?
okay.
And I was looking into it,
Mhm.
but I came across all of these words about term
Mhm.
200, permanent. What are they talking about?
I
I have
know.
no idea what they're talking about.
Mhm.
So I seek the help of my trusted insurance advisor and friend, Pierre Tomachek. And he helped me to explain that. So he will explain it to you as
Mhm.
well. So tell us a little bit about insurance.
Well, one of the things, I mean, we always focus on financial planning, and
Mm-hmm.
guess what?
Mm-hmm.
Protection insurance is at the foundation of any
That's true.
good financial plan. And
Mm-hmm.
yes, kind of dirty little secrets. You're saying,
Yeah.
you know what? I'm young. I have no dependents,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't need insurance. But here's a couple of dirty little secrets about the insurance industry
Mm-hmm.
is the fact that when you're young and healthy, this is when you should get insurance. I don't know why you raise your hand. I don't know about young or healthy, but that's for another
Let
episode.
let not the hair fool
That
you.
is true.
All
That
right.
is true. But that is when
Mm-hmm.
you actually need the insurance because
Mm-hmm.
this is where you will be most likely eligible and qualify for the insurance, and your premiums are going to be
Uh,
a whole lot less. As you age, the premiums tends to go up. But here's the fact that you need to know is that you even though you're young, if you're not healthy, then you may not even qualify
mm-hmm.
for
Mm-hmm.
insurance. So when should you get it? When you're young and healthy,
Yeah.
right? And the kind of a cutoff age is kind of like once you reach the age of 40, the
Mm-hmm.
premiums kind of can't even speak,
Yeah.
skyrocket,
Skyrockets. Yeah.
right? So you probably want to definitely get it prior to 40, but there's a need for insurance all the time.
So I was looking into it, as I said,
Hmm.
and I came across
Hmm.
term insurance, term to like 100,
Hmm.
and also permanent or
Hmm.
universal or whatever. All
Hmm.
the so I'm not au fait
Okay.
with those terminologies.
Hmm.
What does it? Should I get a term? Should I get what should I get?
Yeah, so there's pros and cons for both. There's
Okay.
basically two types of insurance. It's either temporary life insurance or
Hmm.
permanent life insurance. And
Hmm.
as you heard me talk to you many times, you will always have a need for temporary insurance
Hmm.
and
Okay.
permanent insurance. So a blend of two, we talk about being diversified when we're investing.
Hmm.
A blend of the two will be needed. Term insurance, it's basically for a set period of time, right? So
Okay.
typically 5, 10, 20, 30, 40 years, right? Where
Hmm.
you get that insurance and your premiums stay the same for that particular term.
Okay.
It's the cheapest form of insurance, and most people opt for that because it's cheap and you can
Mhm.
get a big amount. The good thing about it is that it will cover things such as your mortgage, which tends to be the biggest purchase that you're going to make,
Mhm.
and it is a temporary need.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
hopefully for within 25, 30, 40 years, you'll be able to pay off that mortgage. So why not have an insurance that will cover that particular period? Because
Mhm.
once your mortgage is paid off, then you don't have any liabilities and you don't have to worry about making payments. So that is good for that. It's also good for premature death of a spouse. So you
Mhm.
could cover the children's education because if you're planning to be alive, yeah, then we could put money in an RESP and other type of savings vehicle, and we've got 18, 20 years to save for that.
Mhm.
But should God forbid something happen real quickly, then the children's education may be at risk.
Yeah.
So by having term insurance, again, for 10, 20 years, whatever the period of time, it's a cheap form of insurance to cover for that. And on the same token, to cover for premature death, to cover for the retirement needs of your spouse,
Mhm.
right? Should
Mhm.
you die prematurely. So mortgage, education, retirement for a set period of time, this could be a good way to save.
So you're looking at a term insurance there.
Mhm.
Okay. So why they advertise permanent now?
Now, so as we said, we've got a temporary
And a
need for
perm
insurance,
yeah.
but we also have a permanent need for insurance. There's
Mhm.
two things that are that you cannot avoid. And what are they?
Death
Death
and
and taxes.
taxes.
Well,
Yeah.
guess what? When you die, you're gonna pay a lot of taxes
Yeah. Yeah.
in Canada, and also to bury you. Right,
Mm.
so typically the cost for insurance for a funeral in Canada could
10
minimum
to
around
12?
10 to 12, like you said, could be a bit more expensive. I once knew someone that got buried in his Cadillac, right? So they had to dig a big enough hole to
Hmm.
bury the individual in their Cadillac. So depending on how fancy you want it, it could be costly. So here's another dirty little secret. 90 Most people choose term insurance because it's cheaper.
Mhm.
97%,
Mhm.
and this is a US data, right? As of 2023, if I'm not mistaken, 97% of term insurance policies never get paid out.
Wow.
All right. Which is not necessarily a bad thing. That means you didn't die.
Yeah.
All
Right.
right. But think about it, right? I've got this insurance. Let's say you're 30 years old. You've paid this temporary insurance, $500,000 to cover the mortgage for 40 years.
Mhm.
And then now 40 years has elapsed and now you're 70.
And you
If
have
you wanted to renew that term insurance for the
mhm.
same amount, the amount would be astronomical. And I'm not making this up.
Yeah.
It could be about $20,000 a year for that same amount of term insurance. So, what ends up happening once the term expires, so let's say 5, 10, 20 years, you're that much older, the premiums are that much higher, and people forego because it's too costly. So
Mhm.
now when you need it, you're about 60, 70, and now you see the need because, the end is near,
Mhm.
then you have no insurance.
Yeah.
You've paid all these years and now you don't have any insurance. By having permanent insurance, such as whole life or universal life, you could pay for 10, 20 years, and then that's it. You don't make any more payments, and then you've got that coverage for the rest of
Rest of
your
your life.
life. So
Mhm.
you don't have to make any payments. You could be 60, 70. The policy is fully paid up, but it's more costly than term. That's why a lot of people don't opt for that. So
Mhm.
this is why I know for myself and for my clients, I do a combination. I'll have enough term to cover for the kids' education, to cover for the mortgage, and the premiums is not that much. It
Yeah.
could be about $50 a month.
Mhm.
And then I'll have whole life insurance that they pay for, the 10, 20 years. The
Mhm.
premium is slightly more than the 50 that they were paying here. The coverage amount is a whole lot less, but we have enough to pay for the funeral costs, right? Over 10,000. We've got enough to pay for the taxes, which could be significant if you own many properties, and you've got enough, to potentially leave a small inheritance for the kids. So $100,000 permanent insurance that you pay over 20 years will help provide for that permanent need that we may have.
And one of the things that are often overlooked is that insurance proceeds are,
Tax free.
there you go.
You gotta love that.
That you gotta love it.
Hmm.
And with all the technicalities of insurance, temporary, permanent, and all of that, you don't have to go and decipher that.
Hmm.
That is why we have the experts. That's where we have Pierre Tomacek
Oh, okay.
and the team to
Hmm.
help you maneuver your way through having that conversation. It's a difficult conversation to have,
Hmm.
of course,
Hmm.
but they are going to guide you through to
Hmm.
ensure that the right policy is selected for the needs that you have. And that's what Insurance Awareness Month was about this month.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
hopefully we've raised the awareness of insurance today, and you're going to have that conversation with the team, TF team. Reach out to us as soon as possible and ensure that you are covered. And you might be able to get coverage that you don't think that you actually qualify for.
Hmm.
So have a conversation with the experts here, the insurance advisors at TF team, and let them help you today. That sounds good?
That sounds very good.
Excellent. So Pierre, with all his dirty little insurance secrets, will help you out. Take care. Have a wonderful rest of your
Good.
day. Like, subscribe, and of course, we've got brand new episodes coming in the new week. Take care. Bye bye for now.
Bye.